Welcome to another video, guys. This week we're in Labuan Bajo and stocking up for 2 or 3, 4 weeks possibly away on the boat. We're not quite sure yet. We thought we'd give you a little, just show you how we do it, and more than that, give you a little breakdown of the costs involved with just basic living costs on a boat here in Indonesia. Nothing like maintenance and all those sort of costs, just basically fuel, water, food, vegetables, fruit, all that sort of stuff. Just the basic living costs, you know. Nothing too mind-blowing probably, but just to give you an idea of how you can live here. We live relatively simply, so obviously you can probably add another 50 to 100% on some people, depending on how much alcohol you drink and how much fancy cheeses and things like that you buy. Wine is a big one. A lot of people like to buy wine, and that obviously here in Indonesia, alcohol is not an everyday product, put it that way, and so it's way more expensive. So anyway, enjoy this video and let us know in the comments below what you thought, whether we're living cheaper or more expensively than you thought, and enjoy.
We are always choosing to go in local markets for all the fresh food. First, because about the price is really better, and secondly, you have really a lot of choice and you can have help from the seller of how to cook, and they explain to you what it is. You can sometimes try things. And in supermarkets you have only like kind of western foods like apples, pears and this kind of stuff, but in general already in plastic, and I don't know what they put inside, but you can keep it forever in the fridge, and I don't really trust it. So yeah, it's quite good to go in the market, and every cities or bigger place have the specialties, the kind of veggies they like, and it depends also of the season. It's quite good to find it like that. The market in Labuan Bajo is quite good. You have a lot of fresh product, probably because the region of Riung is a super fertile place with a lot of agriculture there, and they have always super good things. Last year it was the same. So we just fill up about fruits and vegetables, also a bit of chicken. And as you can see, I'm preparing in advance every package for every meal, so I can freeze some of them for the longer way when we don't find any markets or place to shopping. And even for the fridge, it's quite easy to have directly something ready, and I know exactly the portion I'm gonna have. So we did the little package. Vernon cut some of the carrots and beans. It's gonna be in the freezer. I have some piece of chicken. As you saw probably in the videos, like here, they don't have really proper butcher way of cutting the meat. It's quite random, and you have a lot of bones inside. It's not always easy to cook like this, but this is what it is, and the chicken is super good in Indonesia. I already prepared some aromat like chilies, coriander, and here I have kaffir and other kind of soft chilies, not hot. And yeah, I'm gonna prepare also tomato sauce to put in the freezer later. And from the fruit we have some ready banana, already yellow, some green ones, and potatoes. And we're gonna go this afternoon to buy some other dry stuff as pasta, rice and all of this, and we're gonna details about the price later.
As you can see here, the local market, very good products, friendly people, and very cheap. This is about 2 to 3 weeks worth of fresh product for us here. Changed the prices here to US dollars, obviously, from Indonesian rupiah. The majority of viewers on this channel are from the US, so I sort of figure that's a pretty international standard. Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks worth of fresh food, total of $13.60. I think everyone can agree that is pretty good, and that's a whole chicken as well, which is about 7-8 meals for us if we put it in curries and things. So yeah, pretty good.
Ready?
Half the shopping done.
I also want to present you our new plants. Like for me it's super important, a little bit less for Vernon, but in Kilo the super nice Udin give us from his garden aloe vera. So now as you can see, we have an anti-gout aloe vera. Super good, really, like if you have a sunburn or if you have anything for the skin, for the hair, super good. And he also gave us this fresh coriander. We're staying here. And super good also for the food, like even if we have only cans and stuff, just put a little bit of really fresh things inside, always make me feel better. And also, I don't know if it's just psychological, but being on a boat, out of the land, on the ocean, I'm super happy to have like plants and a little bit of earth on our boat. That helped me to feeling a little bit more connected to the land, even if we are far on the ocean.
Right, so next up we have the supermarket. Now, this one's sort of hard to judge because a lot of the stuff we buy at the supermarket, you know, it might last us the next 3-4 months because we've been this way before, and we know as we go east there are less and less good supermarkets with, you know, pasta and high quality sort of stuff that, you know, we would like to cook, you know. So the fresh fruit and veg markets and rice and all that sort of stuff you find everywhere in Indonesia, but cheese, for example, yogurt, some chocolate, biscuits, I don't know, like just Western stuff, probably stuff we shouldn't really eat that much of actually, but you can't find in the east. On the eastern side, supermarkets don't even have refrigerators or freezers, so anything like dairy products are out. So here we sort of took the opportunity as one of the last places to stock up. So our bill is a bit higher here. For this whole list of stuff, you see the total at the main supermarket is $146 US, which for us it's a lot, you know. That's like, whoa, that's a lot. But as I said, you know, I stocked up on muesli, for example. You can't buy that further down the road. You can only get rolled oats, and you know, I make my own muesli with rolled oats and toasted muesli, and add nuts and beans and dried fruit and stuff to it. So all those ingredients you can't really get more in the east. So yeah, this was quite an expensive one, but unlike the fresh fruit and veg, but you know, it's 2 or 3 weeks worth. This parts of it will last us months and months. So yeah, that's all right, reasonable. Also in Labuan Bajo we found an Italian deli. There's a really good Italian pizzeria, and I think it's the same owners who own the deli, as they got to import all their stuff for their restaurant. They have a little shop, and there, well, Marie loves going there, you know, like it's pretty awesome stuff there, but sort of expensive as well, but it is very specialty, and we really do appreciate on the boat. For example, she can get wholemeal flour there, so she's baking bread and stuff all the time, and it's really nice to not just to have white bread or pumpkin seeds. We can put that in the bread or in my muesli, for example, or yeah, yogurt, feta cheese and cheddar cheese. You know, you can't get that anywhere, and it's really nice if, you know, if we make a pizza or something, to have good cheese on there. So, you know, you have to not always just think about money, but you got to enjoy yourself too. So that came to $35.80, and it's not much, you know, but we're really going to appreciate spending that money. Next up, I didn't really get any footage much of this, but water and fuel. So we don't have a water maker. It's something that we're contemplating getting sometime in the future, but you can't just get a water maker. You need to upgrade your battery and power system, or get a generator, whatever, you know. It's not just water maker, and we don't really have a problem with water. It would just be a luxury to have a water maker. So 400 liters we have in tanks, and then a couple of jerry cans for showering, like just spare. 450 liters pretty much we carry with us, and this lasts us a month without any worries. And if we're really saving 5 to 6 weeks, we've never gone that far, but we could. And that's $10.50 to get that much water. So for a month of water, that's fine. 60 liters of diesel, well, that will last, well, we're heading east and we're against the trade winds, but still that'll last 2 to 3 months. Don't really motor much with this boat. And the 20 liters of petrol, that's for the outboard on the dinghy, so use that a little bit more often, but also not really. 20 liters will last 2 months for sure. So that's, you know, $65.90 for a month of water and 2-3 months worth of fuel, so pretty reasonable as well. And then last up, the last of the opening of the wallet, which makes me happy, is all the sort of extra bits and pieces, you know, like we had to rent a motorbike because you got to, you know, go to all the shops, and yeah, you don't want to be paying a taxi or whatever. We always rent motorbikes, and it's always just you pay cash, you don't sign anything, it's normally some guy on the beach who just doesn't need his motorbike. So that's 100,000 rupiah a day, which is about yeah, it's $8 a day. If you rent it for 3-4 days, you can normally sort of get like 1 day free, or if it's a week, you'll get 2 days free, something like that. The guys that delivered the fuel and water, it's just easier to pay someone in a bigger dinghy, and they get it from the dock, whereas we'd have to load it. Sometimes I'll load it in my dinghy and bring it out, but it's a lot harder because then I'm in the dinghy and have to put it in the boat. But anyway, that's another $8. Made life easier. Could have saved that money if I'd done it myself. 3 days on a mooring buoy, $20. That's quite expensive for here actually, and we didn't really need it. It just meant that normally we wouldn't do that, but because we were just in Labuan Bajo to restock, being on a mooring buoy meant that we could be really close to the beach, whereas if you anchor, you're around the corner, you're out of the harbour sort of, and then it means a 10-minute dinghy ride, and so you're burning more fuel. But if the wind pops up, then you're getting waves overboard, and you've just done your shopping and it's getting all wet, and so just for that sort of thing, when we're here buying stuff and going to the beach numerous times per day, we just got a mooring buoy. Yeah, it's $20, whatever, makes life easier. And then to top it off, we went and splurged actually on a pretty amazing, real authentic Italian restaurant, and we had a couple of craft beers each, best beer we've had since we've been in Indonesia, 2 pizzas, maybe we even had a dessert, I can't remember, but that was the astronomical amount of 600,000 rupiah. That's about 2 weeks wages for a local person, or a week anyway. But yeah, $40. The reason we went to this amazing restaurant, not the only reason, but one of the reasons, was that our cool friends Glenn and Summer of this boat called Nativa, who help out a lot of people in the islands in the Pacific. Summer sent some money to my PayPal with the stipulation I take Marie out to a nice restaurant at the next available occasion. So yeah, this was that occasion, and I'd like to thank you, Glenn and Summer, for thinking about that. Everyone needs to go and have a little bit of luxury every now and again. I'll go and ask Marie about what she thinks. Did you hear? How did you enjoy the pizzeria?
That was awesome. Like a really cool place that I could completely forget where I am. Could be in Europe. Super good beers, fresh from, not in the bottle, like the proper ones you have in the bar. And really, like, the dough was amazing, and all the ingredients super good, and I had a really good, relaxing time there.
Thanks, Summer.
Thanks, Summer. Thank you so much.
So that was the end of the expenditures. Yeah, what happens normally is that we do this every now and again, this big load up, and then the wallet gets put there and doesn't actually get touched again for at least a month. So while it hurts to go out and spend all this money, and then next time we go and spend it, I got to go and search for my wallet and be like, I don't even know if I've got money in there still or whatever. So yeah, it's sort of spend and then spend nothing for quite a while. But that's sort of how sailing goes too. You sail your boat for a year and spend nothing on it, nothing breaks, and then you go and haul out, and then suddenly you got 10,000 bucks worth of stuff you got to replace on it. That's just the way it is. Right, so we are literally nearly live with these videos now. What I'm filming right now, I'll be putting on the computer, editing, and you'll be seeing later on today. So like we're there, and that's sort of cool because last week's video we sort of had a little bit of a rant or asked some questions of you guys why, the lack of fish and pristine conditions, corals healthy, a lot of food in the water, plankton, all that sort of stuff, and no fish of any size around, And so thanks for you guys' feedback, and most of you sort of came to the same conclusion as me. I guess it's just overfishing, no regulation, lack of education on leaving certain species until they can breed and sort of things like that. Sort of logical really, but I mean it's sort of remote island. So, and now we moved about 30 miles into Komodo Park. It's got rangers, there's no netting, no fishing of any sort, although you do see people fishing, but it's definitely, I guess, the fishermen that can afford to pay the rangers something. But yeah, what a difference. I mean, you're going to see in this next little clip I put together, you can see the difference in a little bit of regulation, and it's not like Australia National Park style, but it is regulated. And yeah, wow, you get in the water and this is what it should be like, it's crazy. And the thing is, all of these fish that you're seeing are growing to adult size, breeding and propagating outwards. So all they need to do is put some of these little areas, spread them throughout Indonesia and just make no fishing zones, and then the fishermen would actually profit from that in the end, because these fish grow up and move on, you know. So it's education. It's yeah, it's sad to see, because they're really, you know, they're really just picking up the dregs now, you know. Just like fish probably a generation ago they wouldn't eat because like, oh, that tastes terrible. Now they're happy to get, because that's all there is. Anyway, enjoy this little clip. We certainly enjoyed diving there and watching and seeing and being with all these fish. It felt like the world was slightly normal again. Right guys, that brings us to the end of another video. I thought this would be a short one. Turns out it's another 20-minute video, but no one seems to complain too much, or maybe you do and just click off, I don't know, but let me know maybe if I need to shorten these. Anyway, yeah, just a bit of a brief insight actually. You know, I hope it's interesting to some of you. I get quite a few emails about this sort of thing, you know, how much it costs, how much money you need per year, and it's impossible for me to, you know, say. I can just give my version. Everyone lives differently, everyone has a different boat that, you know, is more complex or simple, you know, whatever, and some people are more comfortable living simply than others, you know. Like if you need to drink wine with every meal, you're going to spend a lot more than, well, than we do anyway. Yeah, speaking of money, couldn't really you know, do this without you guys that are actually giving us some. So thank you to the patrons. I've uploaded some high-res pictures to you guys in the last few days. I was neglecting that a little bit lately, but yeah, as always, can't thank you guys enough. It's really amazing that you guys are willing to pay to watch these videos, and it gives us a real sense of, you know, achievement when we upload, and we know that you guys are going to just bam, click on them straight away and send us comments, and you know, the guys in the group chat, you're real, you know, it's cool as well, a bit of day-to-day banter backwards and forwards and things like that. So yeah, thank you all so much. Next week is a little gap. That's our 3 for the month, and yeah, we'll be back at you probably before you even miss us. See you next time.
See you, bye bye.